Hey, welcome back to Cobb's Q. We're glad you joined us today. This is going to be a lot of fun. Today we're going to pit the big green egg against the Traeger. And we're going to make Labor Day baby back ribs finished with our Mango Habanero Sauce. I can't wait. So, as we get started, I just want to say right off the bat, I'm not a fan of the 3-2-1 method of cooking ribs. I've done it for 20 years. I found it online. I used to do it that way in my silver smoker. And the ribs always tasted good, but you know, in my opinion, they were dry. Through the years and learning as I've crafted my own skills on the egg and then on the Traeger, I've learned that the 3-2-1 method just doesn't work. I think it's probably more suited toward this, but that is a different lifetime ago. We're not going to go there. Actually, as I was getting all the material together to do this particular episode, Jeremy Yoder over at Mad Scientist just released a great video on 3-2-1, and I highly recommend you watch this. And I'm going to try to put a card or a link up here so that you can take a look at that. We're going to go outside. We're going to start off the day. We'll bring the egg and the Traeger up to 200 degrees. We're going to cook slow. I expect this is going to take about 4 to 4.5 hours in that initial cook. Once we're done with that and we got the meat up to around 165, I'm going to go ahead and pull them. Then we're going to wrap them and then we're going to put them back on for another 45 minutes to an hour until we hit around 200, 203 degrees. Then we're going to go ahead and pull them. We're going to go ahead and sauce them with our Mango Habanero Sauce, and then we're going to pull them off. I can't wait. So let's go outside and let's get started. And thanks again for joining us today. All right, now let's go ahead and get the ribs prepped that we're outside. We got 2 baby back ribs set up today. And there's a couple different rubs that we can use. Some of them are my different favorites. I like the honey bacon barbecue. I like the holy voodoo. I really like the Kansas City competition. But today we're going to use something called Sweet Spot. And I learned about this because of one of my previous Cub Scouts. Around 2020, when everybody was locked in, he went out and bought himself a Kamado Joe, and he made ribs. And he said, Mr. Cobb, I got to bring these to you, man. I really want you to try what I made. And I said, sure, bring them on down. And they were fantastic. I said, what did you put on them? He said, I used something called Sweet Spot. So I learned from one of my kids from way back in the day, and it's pretty darn good. Anyway, we've already taken these inside. We washed them down, and I went ahead and pulled the membranes off. So now we're simply just going to cover this up. But before I do that, I just want to look and see if I see anything like this. And I want to trim that off. Right here as well. Anything like this is just going to burn. So we're just going to look at those, make sure they're good. Once again, this will just burn, and I think I'm happy with that. So, now you can use different binders. I like to use apple cider vinegar as a binder. A lot of people use mustard. Doesn't matter. They'll work just as well. Just put a little bit on there, rub it down, and then we're just going to liberally cover these ribs. Okay, we're going to flip. Once again, a little ACV. If you've ever heard that before, people talk about ACV. There for a while, I was like, what the heck are they talking about? It's apple cider vinegar. We want to really cover these. We're going to let those sweat out for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and put one on the egg, and we're going to go ahead and put one on the Traeger. We're running at 200 degrees today, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, the ribs have sweat out, so now let's go ahead and put them on the Traeger and on the egg. Place these right on the Traeger, and then we're going to tighten them up. And now let's go do the egg. And once again on the egg, place them in the middle. Got a drip tray there. Just tighten them up and let these go. Every hour, we're going to come out and we're going to spritz them with a mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. Okay, it's been an hour. We're going to go ahead and spritz the ribs on the Traeger. And let's go do the egg. Okay, we'll spritz the egg. Again, we'll close this down for another hour. All right, now that we've been 2 hours, once again, we're going to spritz. I'm just going to simply run a quick probe test, try not to hit the bones. Running about 140, 142. Let's go check the egg. All right, we'll look at the egg. All right, it's been right at 4 hours and 20 minutes, and the ribs have finally come up to that 165 mark on the Traeger. We're gonna go ahead and pull them off both the egg and the Traeger. We're gonna take tin foil, and I like to take 2 pieces of tin foil to double wrap. I can take a half stick of butter, cut it up into chunks, and just lay it across the tin foil. Then I'll pour honey across the top. Another thing I like to do, and I should have done prior, was go ahead and wipe off the bones, because you get that black that are on the bones, and that's from the blood. Just use paper towel, wipe along those, and it makes it for a better presentation. Once you're done with that, let's go ahead and take our fingers, and we're going to press down in between the bones on each rib just to loosen the membrane, and it'll help them retract during the cook and give a better presentation overall. Now we're going to place the brown sugar as a little bit of our rub, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap the rib up, and we'll get this one back on the Traeger. We're going to go ahead and repeat the same process for the egg, and then we're going to let these go for about another 45 minutes to an hour until they reach that 200 to 203 temperature that we're aiming for. Now that we've hit that 203 temperature, we're going to go ahead and pull the ribs. We're going to take a bowl and open up the tin foil carefully at one corner and then pour all that beautiful juice out. If there was a way to make something with this, I've tried to make barbecue sauce. I'd be interested if anybody has any ideas. Leave them in the comments below. Now we're going to go ahead and take our Mango Habanero Sauce. We're going to drizzle it right over the top of the ribs. We'll paint them on very carefully, and then we're going to go ahead and place these back onto the Traeger and place them back onto the egg and let them sit for about 15 minutes to set. Okay, it's been 15 minutes since we put the ribs back on with the Mango Habanero, so now we're going to go ahead and pull them. Place these here. God, those look good. Those look really good. Traeger is done. Oh, God, those look beautiful. Bring these over, put those on the table, bring the ribs from the egg out to join them, and we'll eat soon. Okay, we're ready, finally. Our Traeger ribs are here. Our big green egg ribs are here. So this is going to be an interesting taste test to see what we think flavor-wise. I'm going to raise this up a little bit so I can find the bone, and then just cut straight down the bone with my trusty dowel strong. Okay, now that we've sliced the ribs, we're going to have the big green egg over here. We're going to have the Traeger over here. Eric, do you want to go ahead and pick one?
Oh yeah, I'm going for the Traeger.
Okay. I'll try a Traeger as well. Oh yeah, it's juicy. There's no doubt there is a lot of juice in those ribs.
And you can definitely see the layer of the Mango Habanero on top of it.
Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Pull straight off the bone. Oh.
Like I said, the Mango Habanero looks really good, and it tastes phenomenal on top of it. And the flavor of the meat is top notch.
Yeah. There's a really good meaty flavor here, but between the rub and the sweet and spicy of the Mango Habanero, oh, this is a winner. All right, let's try one from the egg.
All right.
Go ahead. Pick the one I was looking at. How did we do? I have the Mango Habanero. I don't taste the sweetness of the meat as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the Traeger took out the flavor with the meat a lot more.
Made it more pronounced. This one has a smokier flavor. Wow. All right, I have to try this. Just once again. There's a meatier flavor. This is the same set of ribs. I hate to say this, being a big green egg enthusiast, but that's a better rib. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with these. They're really dang good.
Smoke flavor is top notch.
But it's missing that meat flavor that's more pronounced on the Traeger. Wow, that's amazing. Thanks everybody for joining us today and watching us as we did our Mango Habanero ribs. I would recommend go out, watch the video to make the Mango Habanero sauce, and then cook up the ribs. You don't have to use the 3-2-1 method. We didn't do that today. You use any methods you want, whatever works for you. But then try this sauce as a finishing sauce. And let us know what you think in the comments below. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Hey, as you saw, those ribs were phenomenal. It's amazing to me that Traeger beat the egg. I don't know why. For years I've always said, no, I get a smokier flavor on the egg. The Traeger doesn't have as much smoke. This time I didn't add an additional smoke tube, but the flavor on those Traeger ribs was phenomenal. The meat flavor, we did get a smokier flavor on the egg, but it just was missing that flavor of the pork. So I don't know what to say, except if you have a Traeger, it wins today. Hey, thanks again for joining us. We really appreciate you taking your time to come visit us, find out what we're doing. Leave some comments, let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day.